I'm John.
I'm Preston.
Just to recap, Sue's sneak attack failed miserably.
Like no one saw that one coming.
Why did it fail, though?
Because it was completely predictable.
Exactly. Because Kuvira knows everything about Sue because she
Apparently
lived with her for, years. I don't know how old Kuvira is, but I'm just going to say like 15 years. Working with her, working as a guard. So yeah, she's going to know everything about her. It was a stupid move. It was stupid, predictable.
And it completely handed over her entire city. I don't understand.
Yeah, there's really nothing else to say about that except why. Then it jumps to Opal, Korra, and Janora.
Batar Sr.
And Batar Sr., but he doesn't really say anything.
Yeah.
Just the girls arguing about how they need to go in and take out Kuvira, and then to kind of like reiterate that, they get a big, message from Kuvira over the loudspeakers. We captured your leader because she tried to attack me and
tried to assassinate me in my sleep. And now the only surrender she's taking is an unconditional surrender. You like that?
Yeah. Everything just works out.
Pretty much.
For her, it's like perfect.
Almost like it was written to be that way.
What? No. This is real life, man. Opal kind of like is willing to like give up her oath that she took as an airbender.
Yeah.
As an air nomad, I guess. Because really, she's not just an airbender, she's an air nomad.
They're a very odd non-aggression one, considering they're going around being peacekeepers for everything.
They just help people out. They attack people who are attacking other people. They don't outright attack somebody. Even though, like, Kuvira has attacked people, Opal knows this. That's why she's more willing. I don't know.
It's a weird...
I wanted Opal to do something.
Yeah.
I wanted Opal to do something before this.
She cried.
She did. But no, I mean, like, I wanted her to, like, actually take action toward her. Like, try to do a sneak attack on... do something,
Because those work so well against Kuvira.
There's no way she could have prepped for... At least not in the detail that she did if Opal just suddenly decided to do something. I don't know. Airbenders can take her out, apparently, pretty dang easy. Except for Korra. Who can't do anything. Korra just taking a more diplomatic
approach. Trying to talk her way. She'd rather actually try to come up with a peaceful solution that can maybe get suing them back, but of course we all know that's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it wouldn't have worked if Sue had not done what she did and Korra had gotten to her in time and talked to her. It would not have worked.
Well, no, but
nothing would have happened. She would have still done the exact same thing. If anything, she probably would have asked Korra to help her. She would have done whatever she wanted to anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. Jumps to Varric on the train.
Yep.
He's sleep talking.
Reminiscing all the problems that he's now going to have to face without
no hot towels, no cookies.
His earwax building.
Earwax buildup. It's a really, really depressing situation. I think this is kind of the start of what will ultimately be a reunion / romance reunion with Varric and Julie. I think they're definitely going to do that as the end game for those two characters, which also kind of goes with Julie not really. She's not necessarily. Okay, now I'm thinking like either she really did turn against Varric, but she's gonna have a change of heart later on, or she's just acting.
I think she's still acting.
I think she's acting.
Apparently, Varric was not in on the plan.
He couldn't be. It was like, it was too quick. Batar Jr. comes in, basically says, "Hey, we got a whole new lab set up for you. We want you to continue work on the Spirit Vine weapon. They want
Yeah.
a weapon now. They don't want energy anymore. They don't want anything like that. They just want this weapon designed and
Made functional.
functioning. Yeah. And basically, Varric kind of says that he needs a really good assistant, and Bolin gets recruited.
Drafted into that position.
Only because the guard doesn't want to get his hands blown off, apparently.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Which this shows that Varric is a cunning man because he already had a plan ahead of time. But
Then it goes back to Korra walking out onto the battlefield.
yeah,
Okay.
this is our confrontation scene
Yes.
before the fighting starts.
Korra, Janora, and Opal go out there. Janora and Opal don't. Well, Opal's like, give me my mom back, give me my brothers back, But it's like, Kuvira is just like,
You get a slight moment there where Kavir kind of like steps all over there, Bolin and her relationship kind of thing, where you don't really know how much he's changed, which is a bold-faced lie, as we all know. But
yeah. I mean, I guess there's a more personal situation there
apparently
between Kuvira and they kind of know each other more than just acquaintances, because Kuvira lived in the city, Opal lived there. Apparently, Kuvira was a daughter to Sue,
something like
which
it.
would kind of, I guess, in a way, make them sisters in some type of sense. I don't know if they ever had a sisterly bond or anything at one point in time. They never really talk about that. But in any case, Kuvira's just like, hey, this is the deal, and if you don't do it, we're going to take Zaofu, and Korra just says, I can't let you do that.
Yeah. Then you get Kuvira with like trademark to her. She says something that's like 90% true, but just something about it's obviously wrong. She mentions the fact that this is an Earth Kingdom, an internal Earth Kingdom matter, and this isn't really your place. I mean, from everything we kind of know of the Avatar, she's supposed to be a balance between all four nations. So in a way, this is kind of a true statement. Of course, we know that Kuvira is not going to stop at the Earth Kingdom, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like we said before. It's like we want to kind of believe Kuvira. We kind of want you want to believe her a little bit, but you already know she's already done things that go against her kind of being in the right. In this instance, she is right about Korra, at least as far as we know. I mean, I have to just take her what she's saying as true, because to me, like in Roku's time, and like Roku dealt with issues, like every
world issues,
and it just seems like everything has become more segregated and more complex, more political since those days, to where what can the Avatar do? I remember in book 2 when it was like, the Avatar does not control the military.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm thinking, man, what does the Avatar? What can the Avatar actually do? They just like, it seems like they're just used as like a super weapon. It's like, come in, wipe this thing out that's kind of just threatening everybody. And
it seems like it's, but as we've seen with like Roku, it's really the Avatar's choice who he helped. To be honest, it really is. I mean,
what governs
his decisions?
The Avatar.
Nothing, at least not with Roku. And maybe it should have, because he obviously wasn't willing to take out Sozin when he should have.
Yeah.
But with Korra, we've seen people use her all throughout the entire.
That's all that happens with her. She never gets to make a decision on her own. She's always being used by somebody. She's always being pushed to one side. Unalaq was the only one that was like, you need to make your own decisions, and you need to remain neutral and be the Avatar.
Of course, we also know how that turned out.
Yeah, but he was right.
Yeah, but he also used her too.
He did use her.
So there's really no one who hasn't. Actually, to be fair, Zahir never really did.
Zahir was very honest.
Yeah, he was
like,
I'm
going to
kill you. I'm going to kill you and all Avatars.
He's like, he's like, me and you. This thing is so far beyond just us, So I guess that was his mentality. But really, it's more about the issues, not necessarily day to day, but the world issues of bringing peace and balance. As soon as Kuvira, which she already is doing this, she's already creating imbalance. I mean, can she really take Zaofu by force? I don't understand that.
Evidently, yes.
I don't understand how she can do what she even does now. Like, why can't she just? I mean, I get it. She, documents were signed, things were done. Still not sure how she is like the rightful ruler now of the Earth Empire that she self-proclaimed, and
because she has the army, she has the will, and the world leaders didn't do anything to stop her again.
Yeah, that's a.
I'm tired of bringing that point
I hate
up,
that reason though. That people
it's
like
the only reason they have.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that anymore. We talk about it so much. Kuvira is a good leader. She says, I would never put your lives in danger, and I would never make you do something that I would not
be willing to do myself.
So she decides to fight her one-on-one.
Which is part of that whole ego thing. I think her ego is going to be her biggest downfall.
You see her ego so much
in this episode.
From this point onward, her ego swells tremendously. Not only is she like laughing at Korra,
taunting her,
she's laughing. She's like, I thought the Avatar seems a little bit off her game, and like she's just kind of like smiling, and it's like you just want to punch her right in the face, man. It's like,
I mean, she's also putting on a show for her men, to be honest, and her men are cheering her on.
She has to do that, yeah. She has
to some extent, but yeah, it's obviously not just that. She enjoys being the most powerful person in the room.
It is a bit of an extension of what Amon was doing with creating rallying a group of people behind an idea that you don't need this superpower, you don't need this thing that we've always relied on. You can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Kuvira has shown that she can take care of the world issues without the Avatar's help.
Yep. And in this particular scene, at least in this part of the scene, she can take the Avatar without any help.
But it's stupid though, because we do know there's a mental block there.
Yeah, we find that out later on, but
right. But I mean, it's stupid that because she gets that big ego, because she gets that thing like, oh, I beat the Avatar or I did this thing. You might have, but she has to be aware that there's something wrong.
Yeah.
That she's not just rusty, because eventually she would get better. And as the years progress, there's only so much you can do against the Avatar. The Avatar is more powerful. I don't care who you are. Yeah. The Avatar is more powerful.
Yeah, I guess. Well, and also that whole scene of I wouldn't ask you to do anything without me doing it, and she fought the Avatar herself. That doesn't mean that the next time her men won't be fighting the Avatar with her.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of men.
And she has a spirit weapon in development.
Yeah.
She has a lot of stuff backing her.
That how long actually they don't even know about yet.
Yeah.
To be honest, against the Avatar, to be honest, in a more realistic world, that would mean a lot. In Avatar world, I'm not sure what the Avatar can pull out. Sometimes they pull out unbelievable stuff. Sometimes they seem kind of hindered. I don't really know.
I kind of can see a pattern a little bit now. It's like
sometimes
when the Avatar is forced into the Avatar state, it's usually more raw power. But it should be when the Avatar state is controlled. It should be ultimately more powerful. You have control over it.
Actually, usually when you're enraged, you're more powerful. But
what I think what they're trying to do, at least with Korra, is that she never really mastered the Avatar state.
What? She mastered it after one?
No, she didn't. I don't think she did. I think she has unlocked it somehow, but they're adding more layers and
more depth to her growth with it.
Because it can't be the same story as Aang. Could that be stupid? I mean, Aang's story, because it was the first time we ever saw anything like that, so we don't really know that much about it. So I'm okay with them retconning, this stuff and making it. To me, it's like they're just adding more depth and more structure to it. I don't want to get too much ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, pretty much just Kuvira beating the tar out of
yeah, really Korra. Just beating the crap out of her and not, Korra's just like still way off, can't fight.
Can't land a blow, can't even block most of them.
I mean, I want to see that fight though.
Well, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I am happy about that. It will happen. But so now Varric jumps back to Varric on the train. He's just like, pull in, do the thing.
The thing?
What are you talking about? What thing? I never had to tell Julie what the thing was. She just knew, and it's like,
Well,
again,
because of this very funny little concept. Yeah, the statement. Imagine I'm not Jolie. Imagine I know nothing about what's happening.
I don't even want to do this. I don't want to lose my hands. He's like still against this whole idea of losing his hands. That's his main priority in this scene. He does not want to lose his hands. You know, they go through a lot of this. Like,
actually, this scene has quite a bit in it.
It does.
You have Batar, making that statement that once a discovery is made, it's our duty to see it out no matter what happens, type thing. He's got the more like clinical scientist, not like an artistic scientist like Varric has.
Yeah. I wonder if that's going to be a theme, because we do have this technology versus bending that's always really been a theme, kind of,
at least
throughout Korra. This world is it's an age of technology. They're definitely making huge advances in technology in this world, and we talked about this before, making bending obsolete, making the Avatar obsolete. So it's like, I wonder if that's kind of like a little bit of a commentary on like what's kind of going on the other side of kind of like nature versus, let's destroy nature to advance our technology, or do we want to create, what Varric was doing, which is like a clean source of energy and power to help people? No, let's create a super weapon. It's our duty to look into it.
Yeah.
Varric has a trick up his sleeve, I think. But Bolin does not understand.
Yeah, Bolin doesn't get it.
He's just kind of like, he winks at him, and he's just kind of like, what? What's going on here? Why did he wink at me? What's happening?
That was creepy.
I want breakfast, and I still want my hands. That's the only thing he's thinking of right now. He just wants breakfast. Let me kind of jump back into the fight between Kuvira and Korra. Well, fight. It's Kuvira, or Korra is just throwing elements at her, and Kuvira's just kind of like laughing
in her general direction, because they're not even remotely close to her face, some of them.
I feel really bad for Korra, because like Kuvira is just like, she's like laughing at her, she's smiling, she's smirking as she's fighting, and she's like, this is so stupid. I mean, but like Kuvira saw Korra fight though, like in book 3.
Yeah, which apparently means that she doesn't have all that much fear from her.
How does she know? I mean, like she's like, oh, I know you're rusty, but it's like, how rusty? Like, you can't gauge that. Like, she's an extremely confident person. She must be.
Well, she's egotistical, is what she is.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. She's just very egotistical. I should mention that the fight in itself, the animation, the fight itself is just fantastic. It's probably one of the best fights I've seen in Korra so far. As far as like, just really showing the bending and the sound effects, the animations, just the push and pull of the elements and stuff just looked really convincing to me. Every episode they have of this season just gets better and better as far as animation goes. And one's in particular, that power struggle with that rock, as everything about that, like how she pulled up the big rock and like kind of stopped the other smaller rock. We kind of mentioned this a little bit. You wouldn't see that in the original series. It was like
the smaller rock would have punched right through it.
Or like, people getting punched in the face with big boulders and not even dying, and like all kinds of ridiculous stuff. And this is just like, this was much more realistic. She was pushing it toward her. Kuvira stopped it, pushed it back, and then they're just kind of like fighting over this with the bending. And it's like, Kuvira clearly is, like you were saying, more controlled, and just overall just better. It just kind of rips it apart. I'm not really sure what it did to Korra, but she was like,
it looked like it kind of flipped her. Actually, it looked like the pull, because she like shattered it and spun it, and it looked like the way Korra, I don't know. Apparently the power like spun her or something, because she like twirled onto the ground as soon as it happened.
Well, either way, she was like kind of down for a little bit. Like, I don't know what it did to her. Then we get back to Varric on the train, kind of working on
the device, and the Batar looking over his shoulders, pointing out that that doesn't that just like kind of loop it back into itself? Like, like he's like pointing out, hey, you're making a bomb, but I don't realize it yet.
Yeah, I don't know what Why? What? Bolin is just doing pointless things.
Yeah.
And then kind of brings up more. He talks. I like how he talked about the spirit monster, how he got the idea from Unalaq, the energy and everything, and then he talked about how it kind of saved his life. Throwing all these hints out to Bolin.
Yeah, I know.
Not sure Bolin. I don't think Bolin ever got it.
He never got it until actually he never got it because he did, even whenever the bomb was, whenever they were safe. He's like, yay!
When he finally got that aspect of it, he was still a step behind. He was like, oh wait, no. He builds the bomb. He's like, well, it's a bomb. They're like, what? You're bluffing.
And he's like, you only have 5 minutes to get off the train.
Yeah.
And of course, actually kind of like this, and a villain with some kind of intelligence. He's like, why don't we just take you with us?
You don't get to, you're part of Cougar's project. You don't get to quit. Yeah. Capture him.
And Varric pulls out a remote and says he'll just remote detonate. You get a funny little scene out of that. Just one of my probably it's going to rank up there pretty high in my favorite scenes with Varric in it.
First I built the remote. Or first I built the timer, and then I was like, well, you might take me away. So then I built the remote.
And then I asked myself, do I really need a timer if I have the remote? You know what? It doesn't matter.
I'm covering all my bases. The point is, you're leaving and we're staying. And then, yeah, I mean, great voice acting from John Michael Higgins. He's great no matter what. I think he was like the perfect person to cast. I could not imagine someone else playing the character. I really like Varric. I've always liked Varric. I know you didn't really like him that much.
I didn't know. No, I didn't. And still, me on him.
Varric to me is just a really crazy character, and it's like I like the diversity in characters. I don't want them all to be the same. I don't want them all to be like military people or teenage benders or I don't want them to be. I want them to be different. I like different people because that's how real life is. You don't see 20 people that are all the same. You see a variety of different personalities and stuff. And he works really well with Bolin. They play off each other really well, I think. So then we jump back to
the fight again.
The fight, and I think this is like the end of the fight.
Yeah, this is when she actually finally goes into the Avatar state.
Sue's yelling at her, "Go into the Avatar state!" Everyone's yelling at her, "Go into the Avatar state!" She finally goes into the Avatar state. I guess she finally realized she's getting the crap beat out of her, and she's probably not going to win.
Yeah.
So she goes into the Avatar state.
And easily hands her Kuvira herself, basically.
Yeah, just big blast of air, boom. Another big blast of air, a big air punch right in the gut, knocks her back.
Hurls her back.
Kind of like, I don't know, it kind of jostled her a bit because she's taking a little bit of time to get up, and Korra, kind of turns into that freaking wrathful avatar, pillar of air, freaking huge boulder. And it's all dramatic, and everyone's like, looking and she's gonna do it, and then Kuvira looks up and we see she has the face of Dark Korra.
Yeah,
not gone. We're not done with Dark Korra yet. I mean, I'm glad because I was like, that could not be it. The whole thing with the swamp, like, okay, that was it. You got rid of the poison. That was it. Now she's fine. Like, no, I'm glad there's more to it.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the end of it either.
I mean,
it was a little too clean and cut.
Way too quick.
Seeing Dark Korra steps Korra out of the Avatar state, she just drops like a brick.
More than snaps out of it, she like loses energy. Yeah. She like completely like
panic attacks, basically.
I don't even know what happened, honestly. It's like suddenly like all her energy was drained, as if like she had been in the Avatar state, like was forced into the Avatar state, and then was suddenly pulled out of it or something. That's what it was like, because she was like completely just weak. She couldn't really do anything, and then Kuvira just grabs her
with some metal and slams her pretty hard onto the ground, actually. That was an impressive crater-causing smash, actually. That might have been what put her out there, actually.
Yeah, now that I think of it. But she didn't seem like she was ready to jump up.
She did try to fight her right before she got caught, but
that's
it didn't
true.
do any good. Because without the Avatar state, apparently you can't stop any of your villains.
Yeah. Well, that's not true because she did stop Unalaq without the Avatar state.
Okay, or turning into a giant beam of death.
Hey, man. So Kuvira gets her in one of those
patented
prison.
Earth prison.
Those things were used by everybody.
For everything.
They're great. Especially if you're an earthbender. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, she was knocked out a little bit. She was weak, so she couldn't earthbend. She's stuck in it. She's kind of like, I guess she's accepting death because she's not doing anything.
Or she's just knocked out.
No, she had her eyes open.
Did she?
Yeah,
she did. Kind of. She was like groggy looking.
Kuvira walks over.
Pulls out 4 or 6 of those little discs things on her.
Those little strips of metal.
Yeah, and then just turns them into blades and is just going to kill the Avatar right now, apparently.
Cut up in ribbons, I guess. And, of course, you know, Opal and Zenora are not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Does that happen in this?
Yep.
So, you know, then they intervene because now the Avatar's life is in danger, so they have to save her.
Which just, again, plays right into Kuvira's hands yet again. Like, everything that Kuvira does, she has an end game that works out well for her. Because as soon as they attack, they have broken the agreement and then sent her whole army after them. Not that it does a lot of good with the tornado.
Yeah, they have a hard time getting over there. I mean, I guess they were just going to attack the 2 airbenders and Korra, I guess. All this whole army, which they kept them back, and Zenora uses her cell phone spirit thing. I gotta call. I gotta make a call. I gotta make a text. Uses her spirit projection to call somebody who we don't know. We're not there yet.
And now we're in that next scene.
Really?
Yep, that's the next scene.
Is it the next scene?
Yeah, it's the next scene.
Oh, because there's like a little bit of a beat before that happens. Yeah, we get to see Milo and Iki painting with Huon, which actually I'm glad they had this because it was like without that
I'm glad you're glad that they had this.
Huon like doesn't do anything.
He's
except
a useless kid.
He just like talks about how his individuality is being crushed and I mean I liked his over artisticness coupled with like Milo
actually being incredible.
His like egotisticness, you know, like
he straight up draws himself like Napoleon.
I know.
He has a Napoleon outfit on.
Yeah, the cave and everything was perfect.
It's like I swear he's going to be the next big threat to the world. It's going to be Milo, the Airbender.
It's going to be fantastic. So good. And then you know Obi-Wan. No.
Yeah. Basically.
Help! I guess that was supposed to be like R2D2 projecting a message. That's what should have happened, but what actually happened was Zenora spirit projection. Help! We need help! Help!
You're the Get us out of here!
Apparently.
Only you can save us, Obi-Wan. I'm sorry. You brought up the R2D2 thing. I had to do it. It's Star Wars. This entire season is Star Wars.
It really is.
It really is.
It's ridiculous. Finally, some action, and then it cuts to
the train.
Back to they got everybody out of the rest of the train on their side, standing over there. You know, you're crazy. Katara says, "You're crazy." You knew that when you hired me. I like that line actually.
Yeah, and I actually don't know why he didn't assume that he would do something crazy. Like everything we know about Varric is he's crazy.
Yeah. He takes Julie away, and it's like he has to resort to this
to mutually assured destruction,
blowing himself up along with the rest of the train.
Yeah.
And apparently Bolin too. He was okay with sacrificing Bolin. He's like, Bolin will be alright about it.
We've had a good run.
I could like to see like, Bolin, why don't you get out of here? You might not want to blow up. I'm prepared to die, but I see you're probably not. So unless he knew that Bolin was going to do something,
and save him,
which I'm assuming he did.
Convenience hatch.
Bolin knows how to find them convenience hatches.
The plot convenience hatch is there for Bolin.
The plot convenience hatch will always be there for Bolin. When all else fails, The plot convenience hats will be there. So they jump down the plot convenience hatch. I love what Bolin says. You know, I really hate you. He's like, Varric's like, I'll see you on the other side, Julie.
Yeah.
And he's like, slaps him. I really hate you. Opens up the hatch. They jump down. I guess they earthbend through
the. I'm just gonna assume it's Earth.
Earth,
except for the rails are metal. That's what I'm going to go with now because he went right through it.
Maybe
and so far we haven't seen him be able to metal bend.
Maybe he pushes the Earth up and then like separated it
in the perfect time to jump right through it in like in like a fifth of a second, which actually would have ripped him in half if the train was going as fast as it's supposed to be going.
True.
But we're not watching Resident Evil, so that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. But if we were, oh man.
Yeah.
If this was realistic, this is a little bit of a tangent. If this was realistic, though, if the Bender world was realistic, people would be dead long before they actually are.
There was a lot of people dead. There was a ton of kill counts that happened.
I mean, like blood and gore. And
oh, no, that never happened. But death, and there should have been some blood and gore in that one scene, but...
Like, everyone in the entire world that's ever fought a firebender should be burned. Should have, like, third-degree burn scars on their body.
Yeah. They protect... Actually, rock or fire doesn't work like that, so even protecting yourself with a rock like they always do doesn't work.
It's like no one's trying to kill each other
when
they're bending, but I don't understand why not. So they get out of there. Back to Korra?
Well, other than the train explodes into...
Oh, yeah.
Basically a nuke.
So we finally get to kind of see the power of this. I mean, we saw it blow through the train before. You know, I know I had made predictions that maybe they could make like a non-lethal beam, but
probably not.
I wonder if like the size matters. If it's like
size always matters.
If they had if they had shortened it, like, you know, into a smaller beam. I want guns, dang it!
They're not doing that.
I want freaking laser guns.
If Batar pulls out like a laser rifle, I'm going to be a little upset that he even needed Varric.
It always happens like that, though. You get like a genius who creates something, and then suddenly like a bunch of just average scientists come in and like create amazing stuff.
Yeah, but he's going to turn this thing that like you'd have to have a tank mount that thing. He's going to turn it into a laser pistol? I don't think so.
Eventually,
yeah, but he's not going to.
Maybe.
We're not going to see it in this season.
It's not laser guns.
It's not laser guns. It's spirit energy guns.
Even better.
Yeah.
Spirit energy rifles. That just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, it'll probably either be bombs like the one we saw.
I think it's going to be cannons.
Or cannons, or both.
Or both.
Or variants of those things. Blows up. What do you say? Like, that man was crazier than a
the sewer pipe elephant rat. Yeah. Which the implications of that are just weird, but is it too big to fit in the sewer pipes?
I'm going to go with that.
But how does it earn its name then? Is it just stupid enough to just keep putting its head in there or something?
So I think they were making fun of the fact that they like were doing like the spider fly thing.
Yeah, they were doing like really, really weird like
a spider fly. No, I'm talking about like the ones that they had a lot of issues with like the spider fly caught in its own web. And it's like, wait, what? They were kind of about those little metaphors. So they're just continuing making this tornado. Milo comes in, dives in on the bison, air blasts like a friggin'
the mech. That's why I said they're not as heavy or something. Or Milo's a lot stronger than he looks with the air powers.
Well, air bending is very powerful,
which is a little weird because, I mean,
air's powerful.
But it would rip right through a person if you hit him with that same force.
That's why they didn't hit a person; they hit a mech.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you hit a person with it,
it would repeat through people all the time.
Well, it's different degrees of like force, I think. Just like, you know, how fast can you hit a rock with someone? If you push them with a rock, or if you smack them in the face with a rock, if you launch it as fast as you possibly can, it'll probably knock their head off like a cannonball. No. You can't handle all this, Milo. He's just like, he really reminds me of like a kid. He's definitely more aggressive than like Aang.
He's like the most unbelievable. Like he's like the worst example of an air nomad because he
Yeah.
Does not have any like pacifist to him at all.
But he does. His energy kind of reminds me a little bit of Aang.
Yeah, but he definitely doesn't have the philosophy down.
No. I mean, I think he'll, he's just a kid. You know, remember that. And when he gets older, he'll be a lot different. Unless
We'll never see it.
We'll never. So.
You get the moment with Opal. She's,
Oh, right. Yeah, they're flying out of there, and they're just like, no. And Opal, you feel really bad for Opal actually this whole episode because she just wants to help her mom,
Yeah. Even though her mom really brought this on herself.
But still, it's her mom.
I know.
I mean, and that's the tough part of the whole thing, and it's kind of like, no, we got to save her, and they're just kind of holding her back, and I really love the character of Opal. I wish there was more Opal. I think she's a really cool character. I think she's really well voice acted by the actress. They just have so many good characters, not enough time with each character. I know that like they have to move the story along, obviously, but it's like there are some characters where I'm like, I don't like. Yeah, Huon, he's cool, but I don't give a crap about that character.
And Avatar Senior. Junior's actually got a point.
Kind of, yeah. But like, I don't know. Like, I really wanted Opal to do something. Maybe now she will. Maybe she'll just be like deviate herself from the rest of the group and leave and try to go save her mom.
You are the eternal optimist, aren't you?
I just want something to happen. I just want Opal to be happy. She's too nice. She's too sweet.
Well, Bolin's back on her side.
Bolin's an idiot.
What?
Opal deserves better. Yeah, that whole scene is very emotional. It reminded me a lot of the scene from 3, the mid-season finale for Book 3 of the original series.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, they all have to leave and leave everyone behind,
Yeah.
Very, very similar, actually, almost exactly the same.
Much exactly the same.
Yeah.
Except more major characters involved in the first one.
Yeah. So we get the scene with
the new Empress. Well, she didn't call herself that.
Well, no, we still need the scene where they're leaving the train. It showed they escaped.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're alive. They didn't explode.
It's funny, and Bolin's like, I don't understand how Julie put up with you as long as she did. The fact that question and those things are still being brought in to the whole thing. And the whole thing with Varric kind of now expressing more of an interest. It's like, you didn't know you... How's that saying go?
You didn't know what you had till you lost it.
Yeah, you didn't know what you had till you lost it. I mean, what is she going to do with them? Is she just going to leave them up there for everyone to see? Kuvira, like... And,
I think it's just a display of power at that moment. I've defeated your leader, and
yeah,
and apparently they just let him walk right in. That's kind of nice. It's nice of them not to put up a fight.
Well, they can't fight.
Apparently,
I don't think the citizens are metal benders, and if they are, they're probably not very good.
And none of the guards put up a fight. And
actually, yeah, what the crap?
I mean, I guess they could have threatened to kill Sue. So I mean, I guess I could have done it, but
Well, that whole end scene was rushed. Hopefully, we'll get more of that in the next episode. Hopefully, I get the feeling that she's going to stay in Zaofu for a while because she's from Zaofu. That's her hometown, home city. Then it goes from everyone bowing and
we're going to prison.
We're in prison. They take Huon and Batar Senior away.
Who's very disappointed.
Very disappointed. And that's it. He's just disappointed. Maybe who knows? Maybe he'll do something now. Maybe he'll actually try to do something. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Opal will come back and they'll all buddy up and have like a family team up and just fight everybody. And like Huon can like paint somebody.
Yeah.
Yep. That'd be a paint bender.
And then we have the last scene.
Yeah, last scene.
Yeah. Where Batar Jr., from the little bit that we saw of him looking at it, figures he can actually rebuild the machine, and I'm 100% sure he's right.
Yeah. I agree with that. Well, because they have to.
Yeah.
Kuvira has nothing except an army.
That's massive.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah. So nothing.
You gotta love that how the scene opens with her like she's metal bending the meteorite. It's like she seems so different now to me.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of like the beginning of her I can do anything I want now type thing.
Which at the moment she's on top of the world. Literally, she's already beaten the Avatar because the Avatar let her. But
yeah. I mean, Kuvira's victory isn't that amazing because basically he's gonna reconstruct the weapon or keep building different types of weapons and continuing the research and stuff. And he's like, I need an assistant, and of course Julie is just there. And,
apparently,
I guess now we know where Julie's gonna be. I thought she was gonna be with Kuvira, but I guess they're moving her
to Batar,
which. I guess it kind of reiterates the whole thing with Batar and Julie are going to be working on this, probably on the train, while Kuvira and the rest of her army, or most of her army, are going to be in Zaofu, just basically just there, I guess, trying to do like the base of operations or something. Because I can't imagine them, because what else are they going to do besides take over more land? And if they try to do that, they have to face
somebody else.
Other armies, and the Republic City is going to have to get involved.
Or are they?
They're going to have to. I mean, how can you not?
Really? Because they let this happen.
It's internal Earth Kingdom affairs.
Oh, right, yeah. They didn't stop the Avatar from getting involved.
And I don't know. To me, the Avatar's that's why you have an Avatar.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you have to do these things. Like these freaking political people that can't do anything because we can't step in and cause war and junk, and that's true. But
I think maybe you might want to start a war before she, Of course, to be fair, none of the rest of the world knows she has a super weapon.
Well, if Bolin can get away, then they will.
Yeah, which they will. And I'm pretty sure we'll have a reunion scene with them in the end of the next episode, probably.
Yeah. The last thing that Kuvira says, is begin dismantling the domes. You think they're going to use the metal and everything for something bigger?
I think it'll probably, maybe, but I honestly think it'll just be for troops. Also, it's kind of ripping down the iconic thing of their defense system and stuff like that. They don't have anything now.
Yeah. The clip.
Yeah.
Very brief and kind of weird because I thought Korra would be like more broken up about what happened.
Yeah, she kind of seems okay. I mean, she's a little disappointed in herself that she lost, but
it kind of reiterates the whole thing that this episode might be like kind of a catch-up reunion.
Yeah. Just a
not a filler, but
I don't want to say filler, but
it's not a filler.
Yeah,
but it's like they
character development focused thing.
Yeah, they had to get past all this stuff, and now they can get to kind of this like resting area of the season, which will probably be the only episode, and we'll probably learn a lot of things. It will be like definitely a necessary episode.
Yeah.
So, but it definitely will be a lot lighter in tone, I'm sure, than previous episodes. But basically, just a reunion of certain characters. Boomy.
Yeah.
Airbender Boomy.
Looking good, actually.
Yeah, trim, cut. For his age, crap, man. I hope I look that good when I'm 60-something years old, or however old he is.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if he's in his 60s. He should be. He doesn't look like he's in his 60s, though.
No, he aged well.
Yeah, he aged very well. Like Tenzin's bald, so he kind of seems older. It's like
Tenzin's bald.
Boomy is older than Tenzin.
Yeah.
By a few years, by like 7 or 8 years. So by that knowledge, Boomy should be like 61 or 62. Like he shouldn't be. Yeah, he should be a little bit older. Just doesn't seem like he's that old.
He keeps fit.
I guess. I mean, well, it was weird because like if you look at the progression of the character, he was like thin at the end of book 1 when they showed him.
Yeah, and he got kind of fat.
Once he like retired, he was like, he's let himself go. And then it was kind of like that, he like, kept the military code, he kept it like unbuttoned. It was kind of like that, just a carefree, loose character. And now he's like all militarized again, or at least in some form. And I think you predicted a while ago that he might have been actually leading
some of the
airbender groups of airbenders and stuff, or has helped training them and things like that, possibly.
All I know is he doesn't have all that much longer to get his tattoos now. He's getting up there in age. Better get those tattoos quick.
Yeah, he may never get his tattoos. How easy is it to master airbending? Shouldn't be that easy.
Shouldn't be that easy to master any of them, but that doesn't stop very young characters from being able to pull it off.
Yeah. Actually, Milo brings that up in the clip, doesn't he? He's like, good job. And he's like, good enough to get my tats?
Yeah.
He's like, no. Yeah, there's really not much to say about this clip except, Tenzin. It's kind of brushed aside. It's so weird.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we have to. We're gonna have to all work together to find a solution for this Kuvira problem. And it's like, yeah, we knew that 3 years
We should have already been doing that, apparently.
But no. Right now we need to,
we need to pull our resources and have a diplomatic talk.
Yeah, something.
I know.
Overcame a pie. Yeah, there really isn't much to say about that.
Not really.
I don't really have any big theories for the episode, except I think it's just going to be like a more low-key kind of information episode that's not really not action. I could be completely wrong. It could be like completely crazy action-packed.
We might even see Wu again.
I was gonna say, I think things that are gonna happen. I think everyone's gonna have a reunion. We're gonna, Korra's gonna see Asami, Mako. Wu is gonna be tagging along with Mako. I kind of want to see them all together, and Wu trying to fit in with their group, and they're just kind of no, not you're good.
Get over there.
Yeah, go over there. Because we already know Asami doesn't like Wu at all. But who knows? Maybe Wu, if he becomes if he's becoming a changed man, maybe he's a little bit different.
I'm kind of hoping he is. I'm kind of hoping he's going to become this,
How much time has passed?
I know,
between. Because I want to know, if a significant amount of time has passed, maybe he's had some time to kind of develop a little bit, and we haven't seen him. Maybe he's a little bit different. Who knows? So overall theories, just for the whole season in general from this episode.
I believe they're going to Republic City.
Is that the next step?
Yeah, that'll be the next step because was a king or a part of the Earth Kingdom, and I honestly believe she's going to go there next. Not only that, but it has a valuable resource she wants. It has the spirit vines.
Yeah, it's a big.
And as we've seen from the effectiveness of the United Forces, it's probably one of the easiest nations to take over.
It should not be.
And yet, in practicality...
Actually, the hardest one to take over should have been Zaofu. But because of Su, it was the easiest one to take over, or at least one of the easiest ones.
Although I don't know how... It would have been... Again, you have the problem with... The city's built on the element that these people bend, so...
True.
You really can't use that as a defensive weapon against...
Spirit weapon, I think, either next episode or the next episode after that.
Yeah.
I think will probably be completed, or at least we'll see
a weaponized version of it.
Weaponized version. But who knows? We might not see it until it's revealed when Kuvira comes marching into other places. We have to get some type of scene where Kuvira gets this idea that she wants to start taking over other stuff, Republic City.
I think Republic City will be the next one, and she's going to justify it because it was a Earth Kingdom's territory. That's how she's going to justify it.
That is the biggest one. Yeah, definitely. It is technically.
And I don't think she's going to go up to the swamp, even though I have to say that's spirit vines, but apparently there's an oogie thing about the swamp. Don't mess with the swamp.
I want her to go to the swamp. I want Toph to take some people down so badly.
Yeah. It's not happening either.
Probably. Sadly. Probably get more stuff with Dark Korra. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, actually, I think we might even see her in the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, next episode.
And certainly further on in the season, we're definitely going to see her.
I think she's going to go to the Fire Nation.
Oh,
because we haven't seen the Fire Nation yet. We've seen everything else except the Fire Nation. Unless you count that little tiny clip where she's walking by a volcano, but who knows? That might not. That might not have been the Fire Nation. We did see a little bit in book 2. We talked to the Fire Sage.
Yeah.
But that was like
that one, like
that little Crescent Island or whatever that was. I can't think of any other place except just going to the Fire Lord, which is Zuko's daughter.
Yeah.
And Zuko. I do want to see Zuko again. That'd be kind of cool. It's possible Korra may need to travel someplace else to figure out what the crap is, what's going on with her.
But now, how many episodes can we do that? I mean, we can't really. It's got to be. I mean, it's obviously not going to be resolved until the last fight. But really,
well, Korra has to resolve this, or she can't just go around being like.
Or maybe the point they've been trying to drill in our head is she really can't do this on her own anymore. Because they have mentioned that theme a crap ton in this season.
Yeah. Well, she always have had. They've always, Team Avatar.
Yeah.
Always had friends and people helping her out. Even though when Aang did it, he did it by himself.
Did it by himself.
I mean, at least for the final fight. I mean, every other time he's always had people helping him and stuff.
Actually, that's not. Actually, he was pretty much a gung ho guy. He kind of went onto the enemy ships by himself and took out crap.
Yeah.
He never really did have to rely on his allies too much.
Well, it's funny you talk about that scene because in that very same scene, he does say, I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't take them all
why?
out.
Like, I'm just one kid.
Yeah.
And I mean that is true. The Avatar is just one person, and they're not so powerful. They're not going to snap their fingers and everyone's going to die. It's kind of like they do have to actually physically do stuff. They do need. It would make sense to me if the Airbenders helped out a lot because they seem very powerful. Just 2 of them could
create a tornado.
Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, they're 2 very experienced, or 1 very experienced, 1 semi-experienced. But Opal seemed naturally good at airbending though too when she first got it. So I'm just gonna go with she's a lot more.
She's better a prodigy.
Basically, yeah, she's gonna.
Everyone's a prodigy.
They have to because they don't have time to
they don't
train them. I mean, and plus 3 years went by, so at least there's some time. She's good enough to do this, so I'm just gonna take it that this is how good she is. But yeah, I don't really know. I can't really say what the end game. I don't think we're ever really going to know exactly what is going to happen at the very end of the episode until we actually see it.
Yeah,
it's going to be like that. It's going to be like the original series. We don't really know. Something's going to happen that we just did not expect, or things haven't really been that predictable though. They've been kind of predictable, but not in a way where I'm annoyed by it.
No, not really.
It's kind of like this. I like the way it's going. I like the direction it's going. The only thing I have a problem with is Kuvira's becoming evil thing is kind of annoying to me because I don't want her to be that villain.
Yeah.
I don't want her to just be she's just evil. Take her out. Take her down. And it can't just be Korra just needs to get better, get over this mental block, and then suddenly now she can drop a boulder on her. She's good. Now we can kill Kuvira. We're fine. Because seriously, if that's the case, then she's gonna airbend her again, punch her right in the face with some airbending, and then drop a big gigantic mountain on top of her, and she's done. And they'll be like, yay! And then the army withers and dies, and then we're all good. So, I don't know. I think the solution is going to be something extremely complex and probably actually very sad. I kind of imagine it to be sad. Maybe. I mean, they're definitely not afraid to do sad endings or things happening to characters and things like the ending of book 3 of Korra. It's like crap, it's like she may never walk again, she may never, it's like 7 more episodes. I wonder how they're gonna do the finale. I know I brought this up before.
2-part, I would say probably.
2-parter. I'd like to see a longer part than that, maybe like a 3-parter.
I don't think it'll be that long. I could be wrong, but I don't think it will be.
I just want things to happen. Like, I want it would be a better pace to things. That's one thing I liked about the finale for the original series was that the pacing was fantastic because they were able to take the time to do everything they wanted to do. So let us know in the comments what you guys thought of the episode. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.